I'm Ray DeNearl.
And I'm Brian Gardner.
And we love beer. Brian and I are old college buddies who have always enjoyed different varieties of beer. Whether it be a simple Pilsner, hoppy IPA, or the dark, bold taste of a stout. We've tried them all, and now we're traveling from brewery to brewery, bringing you to great places you can go to find your perfect beer. We are the Brewery Brothers.
Today we bring you to Fetch Brewing Company just north of Muskegon in Whitehall, Michigan. This small town is surrounded by beautiful lakes, with White Lake just a few feet away and Lake Michigan just a few miles.
We're here today at Fetch Brewing Company in Whitehall, Michigan. This early 1900s bank turned to brewery is stirring up quite the buzz in this small town. They still have everything from the original vault to the old check cashing counters that they used way back then. We had the pleasure of sitting down with the owner and the brewmaster. Let's see what they have to say.
My name is Jen Hain. I am co-owner of Fetch Brewing Company here in Whitehall, Michigan. My husband and I opened the brewery. I run the business operations end and whatever else may come up, changing toilet paper as needed, etc. And the HR, and Dan does the brewing part of it all. So, but we're really good business partners, and that's me.
I used to work for a specialty chemical company, and we used to be stationed across the state for in the paper mills. So I befriended an engineer at the mill and taught us and a couple of my really close friends still how to brew back in '94, '93 era, and pretty much stuck with it since. I don't know, I was cutting my teeth on, oh boy, Pete's Wicked Ale, which is no longer available, and some Bass and Bell's, of course, since '82. So, but yeah, that's how I got pretty much in it. Just kind of hang around some people. So.
We did a lot of research as far as the demographics of this area, and that's one aspect of what you hope to achieve. But the other aspect is who Dan and I are, and we really like people. We just want to bring everybody together. And so what we were really hoping to achieve is a place where at the bar you could have like a surgeon sitting next to a farmer, sitting next to everybody getting along, everybody welcome. Somebody just 21 trying craft beer for their first time, hopefully, next to somebody their grandfather's age who has really tried craft beer. So we just really wanted a community place, family friendly, and that will come in time, I'm sure. But just a place where everybody feels welcome. We're a little bit dingy, a little bit dirty, a little bit upscale, a little bit not upscale, and that's who Dan and I are, and that's what we hope to encapsulate here.
The owner and brewmaster Dan gave us an exclusive interview of their brewery and how they all work.
Nope. This is the downstairs, right below the seating, one of the seating rooms, and it's where we store our grain. We're a little depleted right now, but we're getting more grain in. But yep, this is actually they had an old staircase that came down on the far end there that used to be a back stairwell, and it's just a cool place. Everybody wants to hang out here and do the old easy speaks and the old blind pigs down here and hang out. They do after parties. This dusty monster is our brew kettle. That's where we heat up our hot water. We also brew our beer after we put all the sugar water in it, basically. So it's a pretty easy process. So it's a 5-barrel system. Got it made from an old blacksmith in Colorado. It's his first 5-barrel he's ever made, and it's worked out really, really well. I haven't had any snags with it at all. It's slick. So this old beast used to be all rusty on the outside. It's an old dairy tank that farmers used to use to cool or heat their milk on site on the farms. It holds about 300 gallons. It's an old dairy tank, insulated, so we basically throw our water and malt in there, our grain, and let it sit for an hour, hour and a half, and converts all the sugar into liquid sugar, basically. It really is. And so then we rinse it off with hot water, and it goes into the kettle, and we brew it for about an hour, hour and a half. So it's not much different than a home brew system. I know a lot of people use coolers and little kegs and stuff, and basically we don't need to stir it, heat it, or anything. It's just a vessel to contain the heat, retain the heat, and it works great. These are my 5-barrel glycol jacketed fermenters. They're actually used for white wine, but I've read up over the years of writing the business plan that these would work perfectly fine, and they actually do. You have to baby them a little bit, but they produce just fine beer. You can go big and buy the very expensive glycol jacketed beer conicals, but these seem to suffice, so they do really well. So
These are the same thing as...
Nope, those are my fermenters over there. That converts the sugar into alcohol and CO2, and then they are transferred over into my serving tanks. And if we have many more beers on tap, like we do upstairs, we keg them, and I've ran a line through the floor to the taps themselves right in the back corner. So it's about a 10-foot run from the serving tanks to the taps. So it's not very far.
There are a ton in Michigan, and all of them are, have very unique qualities to add. So what we have to offer, of course, is everybody's beer is going to be different. Dan's beer that he makes is unique because it's just like a recipe. So the recipes he has to offer are different from everybody else's. We also have a fantastic location, the White Lake area, Whitehall, Montague. There's a big void between Muskegon and Ludington. And just prior to the two in Muskegon, there was a big void from Grand Haven, Spring Lake to Ludington. So it was a great location. Our building is fantastic. People have come in just to look at our building itself because it's an old bank built in 1912 that had been vacant for 40 years. So several people have not seen the inside of this place. Or if they have, it's been as a child bringing in their money for depositing. So we've really transformed this building. That's what makes us unique, the beer that we have to offer, and our location.
Oh yeah, immense. We have a room above us right here where we're speaking. That's going to be a private event room for special tastings, corporate events. We're going to have sidewalk seating in the just come springtime. Prep kitchen, hopefully springtime also. Live bands. There's a couple other things too that I won't mention because I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. So, but yes, big plans.
We've had a really great time here today at Fetch Brewing Company. A huge thank you goes out to Dan and Jen for allowing us to come tour the facility, try their fantastic beers, and really figure out what keeps this heart beating. Obviously, Fetch Brewing Company does offer lots of varieties of beer, coming from your amber ale to your blonde ale, all the way to the double chocolate smoked Chipotle Porter, which happens to be my personal favorite. I'm Ray Denurl. This is another great episode of Brewery Brothers, and we'll see you soon.